Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the Three Topics Gamer, here to give you another episode of my weekly Q&A titled The People's Questions Were Answered, a series of questions that have been sent to me over the past week. This particular episode wasn't really all that special, pretty standard. Nobody that was new, and I believe I didn't even get too many questions that I had to answer in the comment section. So I think that's a good thing. So I have like 6 questions from all regulars, so pretty basic episode. Nothing out of the ordinary. But like always, if you're new to the channel, or heck, if you're just a fan of my work or a fan of the Q&A, just don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and press the subscribe button, because app subscription really does help. And starting off with the first question, coming from a regular of mine, since pretty much everyone here is regular, that is Brady Burke, and he wants to know, what are my favorite hack and slash and first-person shooter games? Well, it's a long list of games. I mean, I guess in terms of hack and slash, I'd say like maybe the God of War games and Devil May Cry games would be kind of the top of the list. And then when you go to shooters, you could throw in, a couple Call of Duty games, maybe the new Doom games, maybe throw in Black from PlayStation 2, maybe throw in maybe a couple BioShock games, stuff like that. It kind of jumbles around. I don't think I could say I have a definitive. I guess when it comes to shooters, I can't say I have a definitive favorite first-person shooter. But I think, yeah, if it came to the hack and slashes, it'd probably be either, maybe Devil May Cry 5 or God of War 3. Probably one of those two. That's what I would go with. Next question comes from Will Williams. He wants to know, what is my favorite movie plot twist? Favorite movie plot twist? I don't know, I guess finding out Bruce Willis was dead in The Sixth Sense. I mean, that one's kind of iconic, but yeah, I mean, even I didn't see that one coming. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but even after all these years, that still kind of sticks with me. I didn't see that one coming, so yeah, I guess go with that one. Next question comes from Winter Ghost. You want to know, do I think it would be possible for a regular person to survive the events of The Evil Within? Probably not, because it's a video game. And it's not real. And on top of that, I'm not sure anybody could get through that game on unless you're playing it on easy. I don't think anyone could get through a normal difficulty setting of that game without dying a few times. I mean, I know I died a number of times during my first playthrough, but heck, I didn't know what to expect going in. So if you throw a normal person into that and they die, well, you don't get to reset. You don't know what to expect. I mean, a lot of that game is trial and error. So, no, I don't think it's possible that any normal person could probably survive any game, because, heck, have you ever played a video game where you didn't die at least once or twice? I mean, heck, if you die once, I mean, that's it. So, probably not. Next question comes from the Batman of Neo Gotham, and you, this question made me laugh. I was actually laughing for a good 2 minutes. You wanted to know, the Batman of Neo Gotham, you want to know, how long do I think Shay Cormac would last during Ezio's time in the Italian Renaissance? Is that a real question? Shay Cormac, the greatest assassin killer in the history of the Templar Order. And you want to ask how long he gonna last? I think the question you should be asking is how long you think Ezio's gonna last. If you throw Shay Cormac in the Italian Renaissance, the assassin order in Italy would be wiped out. It would be wiped out. Ezio would be his first target. I mean, with all that information, I mean, think about it. Shay has the advantage of having 200 years of knowledge on everything that's going to happen. He could actually help the Templars and tell them what happened to prevent it from happening. I mean, then you have to worry about time paradoxes, because you have to explain how Shay Cormac even got into the past. But no, I mean, dude, Shay Cormac is like I'm more scared of Shay than I am of Ezio. Ezio is a little bit more traditional. Shay is he's a frightening character to deal with, especially when you get him pissed off. So, yeah, no, I think Shay would live a long life. I think he would live a regular, long life. It's Ezio's life that would be ended. I mean, that's why that question made me laugh. I was like, I think you got this switched around. I mean, heck, and I think the same thing would happen if you switched them around. If you said Ezio into Shay Cormac's time, that's a very, very bad time for the assassins. They were getting wiped out because of Shay. So, yeah, Shay would live a very, very long life. Next question comes from Ray932, and you wanted to know, What is the most ridiculous argument I've gotten against one of my verdicts for my versus series that I can remember? Oh, it's not really just one. I get this at least a couple of times every month. Someone will throw a bit of someone will go through. Here's one that happened like maybe 2 days ago. Now I get this exact same explanation. Like, okay, for my Ezio versus Edward matchup, I get this reply like at least twice a month. Someone will say, "Well, Edward got killed by 2 assassins, and Ezio lived to be in his like 60s or 70s, and he fought off some assassins." It's like, okay, you clearly did not watch the whole video, and you clearly don't know what the hell you're talking about. I've stated this many times, and I end up deleting these comments every single time they show up. The whole thing with how Edward died was not as simple as they think it is. It's clear that they didn't understand exactly what had happened. And they also don't really acknowledge exactly what happened with Ezio, because Ezio was not fighting by himself. He was fighting with a much younger assassin who, mind you, killed more of them than he did. He was like barely hanging on. And what happened the very next day, 12 hours later after that fight? Oh, that's right, Ezio died. So, yeah. The worst responses that I get, the ones that annoy me the most, are the ones in which it is clear the person did not watch the entire video, because 9 out of 10 times their complaints or their responses are actually answered in the video themselves. If you want to send in a constructive criticism, then at least make sure you watch the whole video. Make sure you do that first. Then you can have an argument. But when you're spouting out little facts that I know I went over in that video, that tells me that you either were skipping through the whole video or you just watched the ending and then commented. And those are the ones I really hate the most. Like, look, if you want to disagree with those verdicts, at least prove to me you saw the whole video. Trust me, there is not a single versus series matchup that I've watched of someone else's that, trust me, if I'm going to make a counter argument to their verdict, I make sure to watch the whole video, whether it's 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long, or heck, well over an hour. And there's some really good ones that have actually been over an hour long. So those are the type of responses that really annoy me. Just like, trust me, if you're going to challenge me, at least prove to me you heard my whole argument. That's all I ask. And the last question of the episode comes from Jalen Bradford, and you want to know, do I think it's odd that they never make a Resident Evil where Jill and Leon work together? No, that's not odd. No, that makes sense. They work for 2 different departments. Why would they ever work together? And I can't even remember what happened in like that one animated Resident Evil movie, but Chris and Leon don't usually work together. I don't even remember why Chris went after Leon in that film. I can't even remember what it was, but before then they had never met. They know who they know who the other person is, but because they work in 2 different departments, they have no reason to actually work in a joint effort. That just doesn't happen. That's not how departments like that work. They have their own objectives, they have their own resources, so why on earth would you work with another department when you have your own resources to work with? I mean, trust me, if there's someone that the Leon's department want him to work with, they'll send him with him. They won't say, okay, we want you to go to the BSAA and we want you to work with them because they have this information that we need and we have the same types of goals. It's like, no, these departments rarely have the same goal. So the fact that we have not had a game or a situation where Leon has had to work with Jill is not regular. And I think by the time that Leon is kind of much more active, by that point Jill is retired. So it's not odd. It makes perfect sense. I mean, just because these characters have taken part in these like monumental events in Resident Evil doesn't mean you have to force them to work together. That's just fan service at that point. But logically, it just does not realistically happen in the Resident Evil world. It just doesn't happen, and I'm perfectly fine with that. And with that, those are all the questions, or the majority of questions that were sent to me for this particular episode. I'd like to thank everyone who sent in your questions, whether I answered them in this video or in the comment section of the last video. If you would like me to answer your questions in the next video, be sure you type them in the comments down below. But be sure to make sure you get them to me roughly before Wednesday afternoon, before I start filming the next episode. And if you want to increase your chances of having them actually added into the video, instead of just commented in the comments down below, just make sure you have them a little bit more interesting and have a little bit more depth to them, because that usually increases your chances. And like always, I want to thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next week.